Greetings, everyone. This is Al-Fadi, and I want to welcome you back to a continuation of this series. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're sharing it with others. I hope you're even downloading it on your platforms. I hope you've been using it in your interactions with skeptics or maybe even Muslims or seekers. But no matter what the case is, we are systematically presenting to you evidence upon evidence that the early history of Islam is questionable at all levels. Today is no exception. We're going to start to talk about the man of Islam, and that's Muhammad. But first, we're going to start with the coins, because believe it or not, even the so-called Islamic coins debunk Islam itself. With me here to unpack all of this is no other than Dr. J. Dr. J, welcome back.
Yeah.
So how do the coins, the Islamic coins, debunk the history of Islam?
Well, before we get into how they do it, the idea that you need evidence from the 7th century has always been a stumbling block for us, those of us who have been confronting the origins, because we just couldn't find any evidence that we could put our hands on. Coins are brilliant because coins don't disintegrate, they don't deteriorate. They're as pristine today as usually the day they're minted. They're so good, in fact, because they give a huge amount of information. Because of the fact that the rulers did not have television or radio or newspapers to announce when they came to power, what would you use? You would use coins to do that announcement, because everybody touched coins. Everybody would use it in commerce, and that was the best way to get that information out to the populace. And what you would do is you would put your image on the coin, you would put your name on the coin, right, and you would put the date, and then you would put some religious identification to show what religion you belong to, especially in that part of the world, because there were two primary religions that were competing. One was Christianity, and the other was Zoroastrianism. The Sassanians, the Persians, were Zoroastrian, and that's why they were very clear as to who is Christian and who is Zoroastrian. There was no Islam that early, but that's what we think, and that's what we've been saying. How do we prove it? Let's look at the coins. Now, to begin with, let's look, and let's go to the slide, and let's look and see where these coins are minted. This is the time of Muhammad, and this is the time of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. So this is the time from 620 to around 660. When you look at that, you need to see that this whole area was under their control, was under Islamic control, right? If they were Muslims under Islamic control, they were the ones that are minting these coins. Look where the mints are. This is really telling. Let's find out where the mints are to begin with. Well, first of all that the Islamic tradition, the standard Islamic narrative tells us is that everything is happening down there. See where those two circles are? Medina and Mecca. Mm-hmm. As we've said, if everything's happening down there, that means the mints need to be down there. The mints where you make coins are not down there. Take a look at where they are. In Tartus, and Huns, and Baalbek, and Dimashq, and Dabaria, and Albiya, and in Paysan, and Jerash, Amman, Yubna, and El Iya. I know I'm destroying the names with my English American accent, but those are the mints. Notice they're all up in what is today Jordan, and Syria, and Lebanon, and Israel. Way up in the north. Nothing down that far south. Those weren't the only mints. The other mints where coins are made were over here. This is Susa, and Dasht, and Arajan, and Dishapur, and Ishkatar, and Tabuk, Harzan, and Darabjid, and Kavat Khura. Now, these are what used to be the Sassanian mints. The others are the Byzantine mints. So you have two different sets of mints. They're much further north. They're where the water is. If there's water, there are people. If there are people, there are civilizations. Where there is civilization, there is money. Where there's money, you need to mint the coins. So these coins that we're going to look at are all from those mints. There are no mints further south unless you go way down to Yemen and Oman, the Sabaean area. Other than that, there are no mints in between because there's nobody living there. Why? Because there's no water. I keep on coming back that there's no water. Now, let's take a look, and all of these mints would have been under the authority of any Arab leader or caliph in the 7th century, including the Muslim caliphs. None of these mints were in the Hijaz. Instead, they were all situated to far north. Let's look at a timeline. Let's put some of the coins up there. And what do we see? Using a timeline, you can see it tells you the story. You follow the mints, you follow the coins, you follow the story. If you want to see what was happening at that time, look and see what the coins tell you. At the time of Muhammad, there are no coins at all that say anything about him. He's not on any coin. Wait a minute, if he is the beginning of the caliphate, if he is the first caliph, if he is the caliph from 624 up until 632, why are there no coins with his name on it? Well, obviously, there are coins there, and they do have names on it. You can see the coins are all there. And what do you notice about those coins? They have crosses on them. And they are names, but they're not any of the names we would expect. Where's Umar? Where's where is Uthman, especially Umar and Uthman? Those are the two major ones. They had the most time. Where are their names? They don't see them there.
That's true. I mean, you would think that their names would have popped up in any of these important transactional
Abu Bakr was only a power for 2
tools.
years, and Ali was 45, so maybe you can understand they were there long enough to make the coins. But certainly, Umar or Uthman's name should be there. No reference to anybody. Now, there is an Umar, but it's not the Umar we know. We're going to get to that. So the Sassanid Empire ceases, yet the Arab coins are Christian up to 661. 661 is when then Muawiyah takes over, destroys Ali, according to what the traditions tell us, the standard Islamic narrative tell us. This is when the Umayyad Caliphate comes to power, and he mints coins. When he comes to power, look at the coins that he mints. Notice the coin has crosses on it again. If the Western mints all have crosses, the Eastern coins and the Eastern mints all have what we know as Zoroastrian fire altars. This is Zoroastrian. So it depends on where the mint is. They're just representing the religion of that time. In fact, he himself is very clear that he is a Christian all the way up until 680. So Muhammad, if he died in 632, we're now 50 years later, 680, still the coins are either Christian or Zoroastrian. Nothing at all that is anything close to Islam. Then we get to Abd al-Malik. When Abd al-Malik comes, he introduces this coin here, this golden solidus. And you notice it is a picture of Heraclius and his two sons, and it's a mockery of Heraclius. Because what used to be crosses, the Heraclius holding crosses on those orbs, with his two sons, and the backside is a Byzantine cross, which is the Byzantine Christianity. He has taken off the crosses out of the orbs, and he has made a mockery of the Byzantine cross. He has eradicated the crosspiece. And he uses this as tribute to give to the Byzantines. Now, in doing that, he causes a huge reaction from the Byzantines, and they go to war with him. He actually beats them in the war. And what does he do? He then introduces this coin here. And there's a picture of himself on the coin. And the Shahada is introduced first on this first coin that I noticed. And the second one. The Shahada is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. What does that mean in English?
There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger.
So this is the Shahada that we think is the introduction to the name Muhammad. Actually, it's not. And the reason we know it's not, and we're going to see that when we get to the Dome of the Rock.
Yeah, and some of the shahadas here are not really the official one, because the shahada, the official one, La ilaha illallah, here it says La ilaha illallah wahdahu. There is no God but Allah alone.
Alone.
Yeah.
And why alone, and who do you think that's referring to then?
Well, I'm sure it's competing with Christianity and Judaism here.
For who is this? Who that's confronting? The person it's confronting is actually Jesus. He is nothing more than the messenger. We're going to see that on the Dome of the Rock. But hold on to that until we get to that, because that was created at the same time these coins were introduced. So we're going to looking at two pieces of evidence, but we need to keep our time on that. So here you have him, and he puts his own image. That's Abd al-Malik holding the sword. So he's going to war. He wins the war, and this is his thumbing at the Byzantines. He's thumbing his nose at them and saying, I have won the war. But then he introduces this coin here. See this coin here? This is the most dynamic coin, because this one not only has the Shahada, it also has references to Surah 4, Ayah 171, and also to Surah 112, which then becomes, now when I say that, that's what the Quran, that's what those references are in the Quran today. They would not have been there. There is no Quran that earlier, so these became Quranic. But as you say, Wahadu is not in the Quran today. So even these are different. There's also Sharkatul, which means, and he has no associates.
Yeah,
Sharkatul, that it means that it's attacking Byzantine Christianity. It's attacking the divinity of Jesus. It's attacking the Trinity. Therefore, for he neither begetteth nor is he begotten is also on that coin there. That is attacking John 3:16, the idea of Jesus being the begotten Son. So you can see this is an attack against Trinitarian Christianity. This is an anti-Trinitarian attack. These are Christian coins, actually. These are not Muslim coins. All the Muslims say this is proof that that's Islam. No, this is Abd al-Malik, who is an anti-Trinitarian. He's attacking the Trinity. He's attacking Jesus' divinity. He believes as a Christian that Jesus is a prophet, but he doesn't believe that Jesus is God. He believes there's only one God. That's why that's why there's such an emphasis on wahadu, that there is God and He is alone God. He's putting that emphasis there because he's attacking the Trinitarian formula. So the coins tell us exactly what's going on. What the coins are telling us, and let's just look at one more slide here. What the coins are telling us, that all the curly coins have a Christian identity. This is an internecine Christian attack. These coins are telling us that there is a debate that's happening between the Trinitarians and the anti-Trinitarians. These are all, first of all, Trinitarian coins. That's why you have the cross there on all of them. Right up through Muawiyah, he is a Trinitarian as well. It's Abdul Malik. Once you get to Abdul Malik, he introduces the anti-Trinitarian element. And he's attacking the divinity, he's attacking the Trinity, he's attacking the sonship of Jesus Christ. These make sense if you're anti-Trinitarian. That's why the coins expose exactly what's happening. He's even going to war and putting up his own image. And then finally he comes out and attacks the sonship against Jesus Christ. He puts it both in the gold solar disc and also in the silver coins. That both the ones in Persian and the ones in Byzantine now are saying the same thing. From this time on, from 696 till today, all the images have been taken off. So images were there all the way up. Remember, you can't have images anywhere. What are they doing on Abdul Malik's coins? Well, Muawiyah has images. They all had images.
Right.
So that was something that was introduced by Abdul Malik. But it was introduced as an anti-Trinitarian, attacking the idolatry of Trinitarian Christianity and putting Jesus Christ's image. They take off all images and say, because that is idolatry. So the whole idea of idolatry was introduced by Abdul Malik. Look at the coins to see that.
What are we going to talk about next time?
The next time what we're going to do is we're going to go from the coins, we're going to go to the rock inscriptions, because the rock inscriptions say the same thing the coins say.
Wonderful. Thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully you are enjoying what we are sharing with you. Until next time, have a blessed day. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel Sira International and click on the bell so that you receive notifications whenever we publish a new video or go live. I would also like to appeal to you to consider becoming a Patreon patron by clicking the link right below. By doing so, you can give towards the production of these videos. There are also other options for you where you can give to our channel. I thank you from the bottom of my heart.